before you calibrate, you should make sure there's enough room for the arms to move around freely. And so you may need to move Baxter. Or move other objects out of the way. Also, you want to make sure that you remove all grippers and all payloads before using the robot. So we can calibrate. Our arms have enough space, and we've removed all grippers and payloads. All right, so I'm going to show you running the Calibrate and Tear programs. So we're going to start in our ROS workspace and initialize our Baxter environment. So now we're going to ROS run Baxter tools. And you always want to start with the Calibrate. If you're going to do Calibrate, use tab to autocomplete. I'm going to pick the right arm to do first. So give the limb argument and then the right. Now I'm going to make sure I've removed the grippers like it told me to. And then I'm going to run Calibrate. And this is going to take, say, 5 minutes or so. So now it's done, and it should tell you on the terminal that it succeeded. And you can run it on the other arm before rebooting. And once both arms have been calibrated, we're going to reboot and then run tear on them. Once the robot has come back up, run the tear program in the Baxter tools. The right arm. For the tearing, it's going to rebuild the spring model. So the S1 spring that helps counteract gravity, it's going to rebuild the model of the forces it needs and the torques to apply. And then the torque that will be applied. And then it's also going to update the offsets of all the joints. So the torque offsets to, it's going to use a few known positions and try and re-zero them. You can see it's using both sides. So like I was saying before, the orientation can change. It's also going from other opposite directions to try and counteract hysteresis. So the spring forces could be different if you're coming from one side or the other side, other direction. And then on left arm, and once again, after tear is done, I'm going to reboot the robot. It's important to reboot the robot because that's when it actually writes the new calibration numbers and parameters to the joint controller boards themselves, the JCBs. So it's actually, and then every time it boots up, it reads them from there. So in order to use your new calibrations, you need to shut down and then restart the robot. You can run tear, just do the second half of it, the tear and then reboot without running calibrate. But every time you run calibrate, you should also run tear.